Hey guys, Eric Agorno here with Performance Golf Zone. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to stop hitting behind the golf ball. I want to explain why it's happening, what you need to do to correct it, and then how you can practice it with a couple simple feedback drills. So in terms of hitting behind the ball, let's first sort of define what we want to do, and then we'll talk about what are the ways and things you can do to stop that from happening, and I'll give you some drills to do. Now, I'm going to pull a simple alignment rod. Now, we're on a mat here, in which an alignment rod here will work fine. If you're on the grass, you can use a sort of spray paint a line, or just have a line as a reference piece of tape, something like that would work fine. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this alignment rod basically straight in line with the golf ball on the ground. So the point here is, obviously when we're hitting too far behind the ball, that compromises our contact, compression, distance the ball goes. We want to fix that. So the goal would be, right, if I were to take a normal setup here, if we watch good golfers, their club will come down, will strike the ball first and hit the ground second. So if I remove this golf ball, and that's the line where it normally is on, what we want to be able to train to do is have the club head hit in front of the line where our golf ball would be. That's the first piece of this. So when someone would come in to train this in person, if we have solidness of contact issues, I will put a line on the ground. We'll set up as if the golf ball is right on it, and we'll start with little short swings, just chip length, and getting that club head to hit the ground in front of it. So just little short, foot-long swings, just to understand, hey, this is what I'm trying to do here first. Can I get the club head hitting the ground there in the right spot? After you can do this with little half swings, I typically want someone to be able to do 3 to 5 in a row like that. Would gradually build up swing length and speed. So if I can do it from a little half swing, I would then kind of build into about a 3/4 length swing to do it, and then eventually I'd go into my full length swing, just being aware of where the club head is hitting the ground relative to the line. Obviously, you have to be careful with this alignment rod in terms of hitting it and the feedback you would get. Just a simple piece of tape or spray paint on the ground would be ideal here. But that's the first concept. Obviously, we're trying to not hit behind the ball. We want to hit in front of it. Now, what are the factors that influence where the club hits? Well, there's a couple involved, but there's two main influencers here. The first part is weight distribution and/or where your body is in space. Meaning, if I took a normal setup, let's say I'm 50-50 with my weight in my feet, the more I move my mass of my body to my right, or to the right of the golf ball, the more I do that anywhere in my swing, increases the odds of me hitting behind the ball. Sort of loosely, if you would imagine your low point is associated with where your sternum location's at, the more that I turn to the right and shift to the right, the more my chest is to the right, the more I'm going to hit behind the ball, or at minimum, I have to do a lot to get back to neutral at the golf ball. So where I shift and where my body is, obviously if I go to the right, that makes it harder. But then also if I stay to the right, if I'm too far to the right with my body and my weight in my feet, the odds of me hitting fat shots increase dramatically, right? I'm gonna hit more fat shots compared to if I'm more left. And then the opposite of that becomes true, meaning if I had me being more middle, I don't want you to be way left when you go back, but if I stayed somewhat centered over the ball, my sternum location is still right over it, decreases the odds of fat shots, right? And then during my downswing, I want to be moving a little bit to my left. So if I wanted to never hit a fat shot again, completely eliminate it, I would be 50-50 with my weight and my feet at address. My head would be right over the golf ball. As I went back, I'd stay relatively feeling like I'm 50-50. I'd stay turned pretty much center, not big shift to the right. And then I would shift with my weight and a little bit of my body to the left. The more I move me to the left, you could imagine if that line is still on the ground, more of my body to the left would certainly be easier to have the club hit out in front of the ball. More of my body to the right would make me hit more behind it. That's point number one. The second part with hitting in front of the line is rotation. So in a simple sense, the more I rotate during the follow through, the more my body is open to the target. Again, imagine my sternum location, I said. Not only where it is in space right or left influences where I'm going to hit the ground, but also where it is in space right or left in terms of rotation. The more it's pointed to the right, obviously, how am I going to get that club up in front of the golf ball from here? It's very difficult. If I'm pointed to the left, already pointed in front of the golf ball, very easy for me to hit in front. So that would be the second piece I would do, which would be I would want to have the most body rotation or turn my body more towards the target to increase the odds of hitting in front of the line. If it was like a life on the line type of thing, I would do those two the most. Meaning, first, I'd get myself to the left of the line with weight in my feet and my body during the downswing. I'd also open up a lot. I'd turn a bunch. That would make it easiest for me to hit in front of the line, and test that for yourself. Put that line down and try and do it where you don't shift left and don't turn your body, and you're gonna have a heck of a time getting it in front. If I enable myself to turn and shift left, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot easier. That would be the first part I think I would do to get rid of hitting behind the ball. Put the line on the ground, see what feels you need to have to do it. Look at these two pieces first. Weight transfer and turn. The more you do those two, the easier it's going to be. Now, the last thing I would do from a drill perspective to check is I just have a towel here, and you could use a towel, a head cover, some sort of object behind you. What I do is take a normal sized towel, maybe you could use a beach towel or bathroom towel, and I would put this behind the golf ball. So if I fold it over once or twice and I put the towel, typically I'll put it roughly about a grip, maybe a little bit more than a grip behind the golf ball and have it somewhat level. And I'm using this as a reference point. So when I make swings, I want to have the towel just high enough off the ground where I know if I miss that towel, I'm going to hit the ball solid and not hit behind it. So I'd probably have the ball just slightly further back here, and I'm going to rehearse those two feels. I don't want to miss the towel. I want to make sure I shift left and open as I go. Those would be my two main pieces. We'll go ahead and demonstrate one here. And that was nice ball first contact. And again, whether you choose to use the towel, you can use the alignment rod as feedback. You want to have something where you know, hey, if I miss this object, I've done this correctly. Again, shifting to the left and turning will help me get rid of my fat shots. And there's another pretty solid ball first strike there. So line on the ground, towel behind for feedback. Understand that you want to move more of you towards the target. You want to turn more to decrease the odds of fat shots if you catch yourself hanging back on your right or shifting too much to the right in the beginning. You want to fix that. If you notice you don't have enough rotation during the downswing follow through, you want to fix that piece too. So look at those parts first. Hope that makes sense. If you guys like this video, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell if you haven't subscribed, please do, and leave us a comment if you guys have any questions.